Was the Bible really inspired by God? Or did man just decide that they're going to put into the Bible what they decide God is? And for all the other writings, I know I know exactly what a Christian would say. But I'll let you guys, got to hold on before I get there. So, was the Bible truly inspired by God? Well, we know that there are multiple writings that were read by Christians from early first century all the way up until the Bible was, the Roman Bible was codified, canonized in around 369. We know that the Abyssinian Church, Orthodox Abyssinian Church, had their own codex in 301. And we know that the Ethiopian Orthodox Church had their own codex in 330. So there are three main codexes that have been accepted as the Bible. And then a fourth one came when after the Protestant Reformation, and King James translated his version of the Bible. So you have four different versions of the Bible that are claimed to be the authorized word of God. So there is not just the one. Question though, how is it that the Romans, the Abyssinians, the Ethiopians, and the British were the ones to be able to determine what the inspired word of God was and what it was not? That nobody else was able to do so. No followers of Jesus who were in the Levant, no Levantian people canonized their own Bible, canonized the Bible to which they are claiming to be the word of the God that existed only in that area for thousands of years, because people in the Americas never heard of this God during the time frame of Jesus and didn't hear about this God until the Europeans got here. So how is it that none of them are the ones that canonize this Bible? Your early church fathers include people like Irenaeus and Augustine and Justin Martyr. They don't include Levantian people. Bro, explain that, Christians. Have you ever considered it? Why isn't the books of the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of the Secret Writings of Peter, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, why aren't those included? For hundreds of years, the book of Enoch was accepted as gospel for Christians and Jews until the canonization of the Bible. But during early 1st century, 2nd century, 3rd century, the books of Enoch were considered gospels. The Gospel of Thomas was considered gospel. Many people read them. Many people believed that those were the words of God. But it wasn't until some Romans decided what your canon is that then your canon changed. And when you look at it only from today's perspective, today's world perspective, one of the things that you do is, and this is the excuse you may have, well, at the same time that God was inspiring the actual gospel words, the devil was also inspiring people to write these other books that were not the inspired word of God. See, the devil came to some people and had them write the Gospel of Thomas. The devil came and had some people write the fan fiction of the book of Enoch. See, the devil wanted to add confusion so that only true believers would be able to divide the word and know which version was inspired by God and which versions were not inspired by God. Now, God couldn't do that with the Levantian people because the devil had took over them, so he was doing it with the Gentiles in Abyssinia, in Rome, and down in Ethiopia. You know, that what had happened. The devil came and sown his seeds of deception. Because I've literally had I had multiple people, actually a whole room full of highly educated pastoral men give that bullshit answer. That those writings were inspired by the devil and God had imbued in the men who canonize the Bible, the ability to determine which books should be and should not be. And of course, the question then is, why did it take centuries of arguing for them to know this? Why couldn't they have known that right off the bat? Should it not have been they just coming into an agreement right immediately, saying that we have been inspired by God to know that these are the books that should be included in the canon, and they are the only ones that are inspired by God? But these same men also said this book is not inspired, but good for education, good for reading. But these arguments lasted for, you know, generations. The books of Enoch argued for generation. Revelation argued for generation. So that answer is just bullshit. But what do you guys think? Comment, subscribe, share the video, and always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.